so important and why we treasure Mary, what she can teach us. Because she's not here now to teach us anything. We must learn from the Bible how Mary was and what she did. And so today, we learn one important thing about Mary, and Mrs. Woods is going to hang it up on the wall here very shortly. But the important thing about Mary is that Mary said one three-letter word. And this is the three-letter word. Listen to this. Y-E-S. What does that spell? Yes. Can anybody here say yes? Go ahead, I want to hear it. Yes. So you're all married. That's pretty easy, wasn't it? No, there's more to it than that. Mary said yes because somebody asked her a very, very tough question. And she had a choice. She could have said, nah, I don't think so. What do you think was that tough question that they asked Mary? Aubrey.
God, through an angel, asked Mary if she would be the mother of God.
Yes. And Mary said, yes. Because you know why it was tough for her? Because she was so young. And she didn't know for sure if she could even take care of a baby. She was very young, had no job, but you know what she said? If an angel is telling me that God wants me to do this, I must be able to do it. Otherwise, he would have gone and asked somebody older and better and smarter than me. And so she said yes. And that is why on our very first day, we're talking about yes or about obeying or obedience. Who can tell me what that word obedience means? That's our virtue for today, obedience. Yes, madam. Yes, thank you. She says it's about listening to what other people tell you. Now, must you say yes to everything everyone asks you? Raise your hands if you think you have to say yes to anything and everything people ask you. Raise your hand right now. Oh, no. Okay, then run into the middle of the street and lay down there and wait for a truck to come by. Oh my gosh, there goes some trucks. Whoa! You don't have to say yes to that. There are certain things you actually have to say no. No, thank you, but I would rather not. I'll watch you. No, don't say that. But here's the thing. Once we are asked to do what is right and what is good, that's when we have to say yes. And sometimes even that is tough for us. When you're in the middle of playing the most fun game you found on your iPad for days, and your mother says, would you help me with these things I need done before dinner? Bored. Are you going to say yes? Yeah, you are going to say yes. But are you going to be happy about it? No. You're going to lose your level. You're going to lose all the coins you earned on your game. But you're going to say yes because it's the right thing to do. Now, there are consequences, which means, as Miss Wood said, if you don't listen to the yeses sometimes, or you do things your way because you're not interested in listening, usually something bad's going to happen to you. And we're going to talk a little bit about that before you go on to your skip, because today's virtue about obedience means listening even when it's difficult to do, but it also means that if you don't listen, something's going to happen to you, and that's not going to be good. God's laws, which we follow, are all good. This is what he says to you. Love one another. Be kind to each other. It's not always easy. But he also shows you that oftentimes if you don't listen, something bad can happen. There is a law of gravity. Does anybody know what the law of gravity is? The law of gravity is an old law, and I don't know if God knew about it when he made the whole world, but he certainly used it a lot. I don't know if he called it this. But the law of gravity says, here Mrs. B has an egg. What do you think will happen if I drop my egg? Are you sure, 100% sure I'm going to crack this egg?
50% sure.
Did I crack my egg? Yeah. Actually, you did, didn't I? Is there a way that I could have avoided this? Could I have dropped this egg and it it would not have cracked? Yes. If I had boiled that egg, it would not probably have cracked. But the law of gravity says that if I had a raw egg and I dropped it even this far, was this far? Not really. It would crack. And the same thing will happen to our hearts if we don't follow the rules, if we don't listen to what God says is right and good. Now today, my saint of the day is Saint Dominic. When you go home today, you're going to have a card of Saint Dominic, and he won't really look like this. First of all, he was 14 years old, and I'm only 15 years old. And secondly, he was a boy, and I hope you know by now, even though I'm wearing boys' clothes, I'm not a boy. But here's what we both have in common, Saint Dominic and I. We love Mary, and we listen to what Mary says, and Mary said yes. And so that is what you're going to learn today, the many ways we say yes and we follow what God has asked us to do. Okay, so you are ready to go to camp? But we have our skip first, right? Would you need to kick this off?
No,
Okay.
work around it.
All
Okay,
right.
skip people if you want to how to go. It's best way if you kind of enter from this way. Okay, we'll do. Let's do about